Hey up, everybody. Welcome back to episode 14 of the We Gonna Win the League podcast. We've got yours truly, Craig, and my other co-host alongside me today is Tom. You right, Tom? How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Hello, everyone. How's it going? I'm good, although I'm sweating so much. I feel like it's gotten hotter than last week for some reason. I seem to be struggling with the heat more. I think I've caught the sun and sunburn in areas, so I'm feeling the heat at the moment. But it's been great to watch the final few sort of games of the World Cup. Very sad to see England go out though.
Yeah, which we will be definitely bringing up today. So yeah, this is the closing script, as you would say. I mean, after I think 6-7 weeks of incredible football, the World Cup 2026 is officially come to an end last night. The biggest World Cup in history, 48 teams, 3 host nations, plenty of firsts such as unforgettable matches, and ultimately Spain are the world champions for the second time after beating Argentina in last night's final, or in Sunday's final if you've seen this a few days after it's been recorded. So this is also our final World Cup special. You know, I think it's been an amazing 7 episodes, however long we've done it for. We probably put more commitment into this than most stuff. It's been brilliant covering every week of the tournament to everybody here. If you are listening or if you don't, we don't really care. We found it really enjoyable. But if you do enjoy it, please just share it and, you know, take the mick out of it if you need to. You know, the more viewers, the better. So we're going to be covering last night's game, England's game, and we're going to just do some like little fun bits to end the World Cup specials. So we'll discuss if it's lived up to the hype. Look back at England's incredible journey into the best result since 1966. And yeah, let's get into the final episode. And what a way to start, Tom. England. What a way to start. Spain won after taking on Argentina last night. They won 1-0 after extra time. It wasn't the World Cup we were expecting. It didn't have all the thrills, but it was more of a tactical game. If you know, I'm sure you'll agree. How do you feel like the game? How did the field game lived up to your expectations, or did it, or could it have more?
Well, the final, I think itself was not as entertaining as it should have been. I think everyone has been saying that. I think, you just watch it, and Argentina only have a shot on goal in the second half of extra time, I think it was, or that's something ridiculous like that, you know. And Spain have like 23 shots or something like that versus 1 or 2 that Argentina sort of score at the end. I think it was very clear from the first sort of 20 minutes that Argentina were sort of just trying to do a low block essentially and try and counter or get a goal in that sort of lucky sort of way. But Spain had total control and dominance over the ball throughout the whole game essentially. And I think the score doesn't really reflect the game that well.
No, I totally agree. And like you say, tactically, it was a tactical game, wasn't it? I mean, Argentina didn't do anything wrong. When you're playing a team like Spain, that is what you expect from a team playing low block football where you still can counter attack, not what England did against Argentina and just sat so far back that we were basically into the net. But it wasn't a great match. Spain were incredible with the passing. They were incredible about how easy they did things. But what I did notice is that wasn't the best Spain performance of the whole tournament, and they still made it look seamless. And I think overall, it doesn't matter if you are for Argentina, if you are for Spain, looking at that game, Spain didn't play their best, and still, it says Spain win written all over it. Ferran Torres, scored in the 106th minute, basically separating 2 outstanding football nations. You know, it's good to see a European team versus a South American team if you're neutral. It was proper a World Cup tie. It wasn't great, but it didn't live up to expectations compared to some knockout games. Overall, yeah, go on.
Yeah. Just something else I just thought about there was I think it as a fan of football and sort of fleeing football rather than, I mean, there's space for physical football, but Argentina, I think they took that a bit too far this tournament in many games. Like that sort of bullying. And I'm very glad that the ref in the final actually sort of gave out the cards that he did, because I think that was something that the ref in the England Argentina game wasn't so good at handing out the cards, because Argentina fouled England on many occasions and never, just like they never seemed to get any yellow cards. But in this game, I think one or two of them got a yellow card, and one eventually got 2 yellow cards and got sent off. Like a horrendous. I think that was Enzo, wasn't it?
Enzo Fernandez.
Just absolutely horrendous foul, where he sort of plowed through the player, and the Spanish player actually he actually did a loop the loop and fell on the ground. It was just what are you doing? Absolutely terrible. And so I think because of that, it makes me so much more glad that Spain won, and sort of they managed to defeat a slightly dirty Argentina in their style of play, which Spain's style of play is very technical, as you say, very clean, not sort of physical in the way of trying to bully or trying to upset the other team or try to slow things down. So I think in that sense, it was good for football to see that style of play sort of ultimately beats a more dirty style of play.
Yeah, and if you're going to put an analogy on it, Argentina played basically a very, very drunken type of football. It's just chaotic. Whereas Spain, it was sexy. It was sexy football. I mean, that's the way you could say it. And they were the way they just knew where to head the ball back, pass the ball back, knew where the players were. It was a good tactical performance. It wasn't a great game, but you're going to get that in the World Cup. You're not going to get many goals in a World Cup when each team knows it's on the line. But yeah, like you say, Enzo Fernandez basically lost his head. The whole of Argentina lost their head, basically. Mm-hmm. Argentina chased the game. There was a red card. At this point, the game was effectively over because they kind of just knew the chance had gone. And then to make things worse, at the end, Paredes, the full-time commotion, basically the final whistle should have been all about Spain. Instead, players on both sides became involved in the heated exchanges. Paredes was right in the middle of it, basically did not like the fact that Spain was celebrating the biggest victory on the world of football. And he didn't just push him or shove him.
Well, he punched him, didn't he?
Well, honestly, he punched him with a throat punch, basically. And not only that, then dragged another player on the floor. And if anything, people think, if the coaches and the players didn't get stuck in, it could have been quite nasty. It would not surprise me if it could surprise me. I would expect a big ban for Paredes and a fine. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, if that happened in just out in public, then that's assault. I mean, that's GBH, isn't it? I mean, that literally is assault. I mean, say for example that happened in the street, and a policeman walked by and saw it, then basically that would be assault, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and not only that, on one of the videos I saw from the other angle, while that stuff was going on with Paredes, there was a coach who actually punched Danny Olmo in the face. And if I can attach that video to this podcast, I will show that because it was a clean punch to the face. It was just dirty, and I think a lot of people say that England England, Argentina, England lost, but it wasn't biased from England's fans. From the first 12 minutes, there should have been a card for Argentina, and they didn't get the first card until 41 minutes in.
Yeah,
they felt up until this moment a little bit protected, and it was like a kid who doesn't always get their own way and starts throwing toys out the pram. That's how it ended up for Argentina. It was pretty ugly, and not what you expect to see, especially when Spain want to celebrate anyway. Certainly wasn't the ending FIFA would have wanted, but there it is. So we're in agreement. Spain are the greatest team in the world of football. If anything, if England did make it to that final, then it's probably a good thing England went out in the semi-final, because I don't think we would have defended as well as Argentina did.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I just wanted to say that I think entertaining-wise, it's quite funny, but the third place playoff was much better to watch the game than the actual final.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's quite funny, really, how that turned out to be a much more sort of end-to-end game and much sort of much easier on the eye than that Spain versus Argentina game.
Yeah, definitely. And let me just quickly share you this video. Actually, I need to show you because it was I didn't see this until this morning, so I'm just going to share this very quickly now. As you see on the screen, if you see the coach there, just throw a right hand at Dani Olmo's face. Just watch again. Do you see that?
Well, there's the advert on.
What about now?
Okay, yeah, go, yeah.
So can we slow this down? Speed, normal. Let's slow it down to 30. Watch this.
Oh yeah, bloody hell, yeah.
That was a clean sweep into the face. So
so that was Paredes. Yeah.
No, that was Argentina's Ayala.
Oh, their coach. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So
you said,
yeah. So
well, I don't know. Yeah, it all gets heated, doesn't it? I mean, Argentina trying to sort of go and win it, but that is what I call a sore loser, and there's no place for that in professional sport, in my opinion.
No. Effectively, this is going to be Messi's last game in the World Cup. I mean, he's probably said that 4 years ago, but I think at 39 years old, I think he's going to call it a night after this. But it was great to see Yamal, kind of the rising star, that kind of exciting type of footballer, playing against Lionel Messi, where they had that famous photo of each other 20 years ago where Messi's giving Yamal a bath. And 20 years on, they are playing in the biggest match on the planet. It was good to see two players who obviously are going to who have set the world alight and who will set the world alight. Just two more things from that game. One of them being the halftime. No, actually, let's not go on the halftime show. Let's start with Donald Trump trying to take all the limelight away from Spain. It was the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen. I don't know if you stayed up late enough to watch this, Tom, but I don't know if you remember the Club World Cup last year. When Chelsea won it, he got himself literally in the middle of the Chelsea players and just stood there smiling. And he wanted to do this again. Did you see this? And Giovanni Infantino obviously passed the World Cup and went back to stand with the UEFA officials. And Trump stood in the middle, started congratulating people while they're ready to pick up the trophy. And Rodri literally ushered him to the left, just kind of pushed him out the way so he could start celebrating. Giovanni Infantino ran over to him as well, and Trump was still trying to shake people's hands. I think he's lost the plot. I think he's made some of the World Cup all about him as well.
Definitely, yeah. I saw that, and I saw the replays again of it this morning and stuff, and it just makes you. I've never seen a person who's had that much ego where like it's about the players who have won the World Cup, mate. No,
Yeah,
it's
he's
about
still.
me because I'm Trump.
I think he's still. I think he's
That's
still
it.
smiling now. I think he's still smiling now, pretending he's on the stage.
Uh,
Um, yeah. So the halftime show. What did you think about it, Tom? It's a first in World Cup history. 27 minutes interval lasted from the ref blowing its half-time whistle
yeah.
right up into the second half kicked off. What did you think? Was it worth it? Was it a good touch? Are you not cynical and you actually think for the occasion you're going to pay £8,000 a ticket anyway? What do you think?
I don't think it should happen. No, I think as a football, like sort of that purist in me sort of thing. I think no, and it's a sad thing, but I think it's going to creep its way into football more and more, like as the years go on. Because can you think back to the PSG Arsenal final where the Killers came on and they played? I think that was before the game started, wasn't it? Or like maybe even half time. But like that never used to happen. Sort of say 10 years ago that they had like a warm up act with the game. So they've started it in the Champions League already, and I feel like they probably will just increase it because they'll get money for ads and for artists and all this sort of stuff. But I do feel that it's just another Americanism that is slowly going to make its way into England and maybe even into the Premier League. I mean, because the people who run it have links with America. Sky and whatnot have very close links with America. So I'm very afraid to say, but yeah, I think it will start to happen more and more. And us, the fans, have got little power to sort of do anything about it. Unfortunately.
Yeah, and ultimately the fans, they might say it's more for the fans for the money, but the fans essentially will be charged for the privilege of watching an halftime show that they probably didn't want. It's okay saying, "Oh, the tickets are £8,000. Let's do an halftime show." Well, they're that expensive because you're paying bloody Shakira, Shake a booty.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
it's crazy. Yeah.
I mean, the most cringeworthy bit of that, it got better. If you're looking at it from an entertainment point of view, if you forget about football, it got better. But it was so misjointed for me because the first bit was so embarrassing when you saw Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo, the real Ronaldo, and Ronaldinho coming out in oversized tracksuits,
Yeah, it's so
looking
strange.
as if they're on a day trip at Landudno from the care home that they're in, just smiling and nodding like they don't really know what's going on. These two are meant to be driving Shakira out. Shakira's also having a good time, and these two are still nodding. Oh man, it was so bad. And then it's had a lot of stars in it, but I think it was over. You just needed one performance. If you're going to do something, just do one performance. Get the Killers back out. A proper performance.
Well, it's overkill.
Overkill. You're right.
This is how I would do it. Right? Is that if you want to go and see sport and obviously entertainment at the same time, right? Then you get yourself over to America and watch a baseball game, or like go and watch, or go watch an NFL game, and then you can have the 4 breaks. You can have the amazing halftime show that they have there, but that stuff does not belong in football. That's my view on it.
Yeah, totally agree. And yeah, like you said, does football need it? No, we're not convinced. World Cup final already sells itself. Let's be honest. You don't need Justin Bieber playing a guitar or was Speed that Speed influence of one of them who sang as well. Was that prior to? I don't even know that it was just so because the match wasn't great either. I don't know. I felt like I was tripping. I felt like I was on mushrooms or something. I didn't really know when it ended. I think I just slept. but yeah, both of us basically are in discussion of that. Hopefully, it doesn't make a return in 2030. That would be the best thing. Anyway, let's move on to the match the night before, the bronze game, third place game, the proper match, the World Cup final that should have been England versus France. Listen, at the time of the moment, I think everyone was the same. Like, where were England? Where were England on Wednesday? Where was the performance on Wednesday? But then when you break it down, we clearly know the pressure was off. Players are kind of playing with freedom. They've got a point to prove. France the same. I think they were a bit shell shocked the way England come out. From start to finish, it actually became, and I will hold my hands up, I said it was a pointless match, and maybe the core of it, you could probably say that. But when you think about what's been achieved, it was a thriller, a 10-goal thriller. England have got the best finish since 1966, to be third place. They've got a medal to show for it. Obviously, the players had smiles on the face, although we know deep down the gutted for missing the final. And overall, I think it could build confidence going into the Euros, into the next World Cup. I think, and I'll hold my hands up. It wasn't that bad. Tom, you were the opposite to me. You thought it had meaning to it. You have some French connections. You're obviously a diehard England fan. Did it live up to your expectations, or did you have any reservations?
Yeah, I think it was a thrilling game to watch, and yeah, end to end. It made me think of a Champions League game early on in the season where it was Bayern Munich versus PSG, where it was just end to end, and both teams were not very good in defence. Pretty much was a repeat of that game, but in an international sort of sense. It was funny though, because after we'd lost against Argentina, I was sort of thinking about Tuchel, about the defenders that he brought on. I thought that was a mistake, and started to think, oh, Tuchel is not done as well as he should have. And then I saw the lineup, and I was like, we are going to get battered.
Same.
I literally was thinking, like, what has Tuchel done to this side? But actually, then they went out, and I think it's because they were all quite fresh, weren't they? Because all those players hadn't played for the previous game, I think. So they were all quite fresh. So it actually was a great game. I think you do have a point there, Craig, saying about the pressure's off. I think when the pressure's not there, then you do play with a bit more freedom. But the other thing is I think Argentina, let's not forget, even though they play in that dirty way, they have done really, really well to go through to the final and keep Spain at bay until the 106th minute. So I think Argentina were a level above England, and unfortunately, that's why we lost that game. We should have lost more like 4-1 in the end, because they hit the bar twice and Pickford made some sensational saves. So England actually got away with quite a lot that game. France were the biggest shock of the whole tournament, weren't they? I mean, everyone was saying that they were going to go through and win the tournament. Then they face Spain, and they just don't turn up, and it's just it's very, very shocking. I mean, I read a few of the French articles, and they were extremely damning of the players' performances. Just they got no player got above a 5 out of 10 that whole game versus Spain. And I think that's because France had played teams that were all far below their level until they played Spain, and then they were just sort of shell-shocked.
Yeah.
So I think the England-France game was fairly evenly matched, because it was just end-to-end, and no real defensive play, but it was fantastic to see England score. Great as an Arsenal fan to see Saka get a hat trick. Fantastic. I'm so buzzing for him, and it's just amazing for his confidence. And also to see Bellingham come through and get that last goal, because I think Bellingham's going to be sort of England's sort of main man for the next, 4, 8, 12 years now.
Yeah, no, he was sensational all tournament, and you're looking back at England's tournament in general, semi-finals, bronze medal winners. Tuchel's first tournament, 15 months in charge. That's it.
Yeah, pretty
overall, good. Overall, I'd say progress. I mean, England once again proved they kind of belong amongst the world's elite, but there's still that feeling, so close yet so far. I mean, it's obviously a mentality thing. It's kind of a national mentality thing. We need to break that stigma, and but I think overall, yeah, best place since 1966. There's only one way up from here.
Yeah.
But he only had 15, well, not even 15 months, 15 months now. He picked a squad within 13 months of being manager. It's not club football. You don't get to see the players all the time. You get 3 international breaks and then the World Cup. So there's obviously a lot more that can be done. He's got the Euros coming up now, which is in England as well. Well, in the UK, so that'll cause any political upset. Just a quick question for yourself, Tom. Should England actually be proud of their performance in this World Cup?
They should be. Yeah. They should be 100%. I think Tuchel said it well in terms of, I get that all teams have to travel and all teams have to do all that sort of stuff, and the lack of sleep and the change in temperature, the change in altitude. But England do seem to have had to do lots of traveling from their base camp in Kansas to go to the various stadiums around America, Mexico. And that will take its toll out on the lads as well. And to be honest, it is progression. Like that is it. Like, if I think of Arsenal, right, and Mikel Arteta, he's been there 5-6 years, and with some managers, you might get that immediate just season or two where they just do amazing from the team doing really badly, but that's quite unlikely to happen, isn't it? And so it takes time for the coach to actually get to know the players. Tuchel, as you said, has done that in 13 months or more or less something like that, you said. And so that's
15 amazing. Now, so yeah, 13 when he picked the team, yeah.
So it's just amazing for a manager to actually have met these players and taken what Southgate's done and just get the players to that level, get them to a bronze place finish, which is the highest that the England team have ever got in the World Cup since 1966, a good 50, 60 years ago. That is an incredible achievement. And I think I just want to say to all the naysayers out there who say, who even wants to play that third place playoff? I mean, I understand that phrase, but actually I think that you definitely do want to play that game, because there's gold, silver, and bronze, and to be the third best player, third best team in the world, and there were only 48 countries picked for the World Cup, and there's many more countries than that in the world. So it's just an incredible achievement, and onwards and upwards from here.
I am one of those naysayers. I don't think to myself, I was debating whether to go out. I thought, is this a bit embarrassing going out to watch a third place match? And then in the end, actually thinking, yeah, well, I mean, this could be maybe France. Maybe if you're a France fan, you could probably say that, you've won the World Cup, you've been to multiple finals, you're expected to win it. England, it's about progressing, about moving forward, about getting a new type of style, breaking that stigma. So yeah, third place for England is actually going to probably do more good than it will do bad. The last time we were in a third place spot, as in challenging for third place, was 2018. And I think it was Belgium versus England. Because obviously England lost to Croatia in the semi-final, which France inevitably ended up winning. So just quickly, Tom, just a couple more questions for you. They don't have to be long questions. They can just be very small. Has Tuchel exceeded expectations in his first tournament?
No, I don't think he's exceeded expectations, because I think everyone was really expecting or sort of wanting to have the win, to go and win the World Cup. So he hasn't exceeded expectations, no.
No, I agree. I think he's done very good, and I think they brought him in to win it. But there is progress there, and he's not just just finished fourth again. Another question: what's the one area England need to improve on before Euro 2028? Would you say?
Defensively, I think that's one of the key areas where they need to get better. Tuchel maybe needs to perhaps be a bit less stubborn about his choices, about who he brings to these tournaments. Like we've always said, that there's Trent, there's Foden, there's Palmer, players who could have added quite a lot to the tournament. So I think that needs to have more thought behind it. I mean, I'm not saying that he hasn't thought about it, but perhaps to sort of think more about it in the future, about who he brings to the tournament.
Yeah, I mean that's two areas. So that's good. I'd say the same. I think I totally agree. In the end, Palmer and Foden to be dropped because Rodgers and Bellingham are more superior in that position. But when you look at England over the 6 weeks or 6.5 weeks, whatever it was, when you're looking to bring on someone in that Argentina game, or even Mexico when we needed it, even Congo when we relied on Kane scoring those 2 goals, to have someone like Foden and Palmer on the bench to say, do you know what, let's just throw them on. They've obviously got quality in some aspects. When you put players like Chabala and Mainu, Ivan Toney, even when he come on in that bronze match, thought it was a pile of anyway. And Watkins, who I'm a massive fan of, but Tuchel obviously isn't. You're looking at those 4 players who hardly got a chance, and you're thinking, surely Foden, actually, sorry, not Foden, surely Palmer for me would have, I get Foden. I don't think anybody knows. I don't even think he knows his real position or his strongest position. But Palmer, that's the type of player you want to bring on to those big game moments. But for me, the one area is probably the wing. Deciding on a wing partnership. I think we chopped and changed too much where we played Bellingham on the left at one point, Rodgers on the right at one point. You got Gordon, Rashford, Madueke, who had a poor tournament, but Saka, why didn't he play against Argentina? I mean, I think he needs to decide on the type of wingers he wants and kind of, look at Spain, look at Argentina and France. They know their wingers. They work together. They know how to cross. They know who's going to be in the box. They know how to play with the strikers. For me, I think the defense will grow. I really do. I think we've seen on the tournament it's got better and better. Other than that final match against Argentina, which was a tactical disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think the wing partnership needs looking at. So let's just look back on the whole World Cup, Tom, just quickly before we get complacent talking about how. Let's think about how this World Cup's going to be remembered. I mean, the positives are we have 48 teams, 104 matches. You can't grumble at that. Nations like Cape Verde, brilliant stories, absolutely amazing. The atmosphere in Mexico and Canada. I mean, we knew the USA is going to be razzmatazz, but the atmosphere, especially in Mexico, unbelievable. And the standard of football, considering you've got all these teams who are like 60th, 80th in the world rankings, actually made it quite enjoyable. There were no dud matches. any positives from you? Anything you want to bring to the table on? Anything you want to elaborate more on?
Well, I agree with what you've said, and I think for me, it's just the spectacle of it all, as well as the football. It's the fans, it's the atmosphere in the stadium, it's seeing the shirts and the colourful shirts and what everyone comes dressed up as, and just bringing people together to watch amazing players play football. It's just amazing, and everyone's up for it. Everyone loves it. It's entertaining. It's been a great World Cup. Yeah, I mean, I especially liked it when there was football on every single day. I mean, what other time is there like amazing football that you basically can watch every single day for like 2 weeks straight? It's just amazing. It's so good to watch, and then when it gets to the quarterfinals or semi-finals, it's like it's like a day or two like without football when you start to miss it, don't you?
Yeah, and for me as well, I'm going to be so glad I can sleep again.
Yeah, me too.
I have missed my sleep so much to the point where I've physically been so exhausted the past couple of weeks. And obviously the heat's been fantastic. You know, we can't grumble. But it's just like last night, I was like this near the end. Not just because the football's bad, because my body's finally saying, "It's time, Craig. It's time. Just let it go. Just let it go. It's time to go." So yeah, what are your negatives? Have you got any negatives? Are you not a negative kind of guy?
Well, negatives, yeah, they're having negatives. I think that the negative is big negative being Trump, and the fact that Infantino has definitely adapted the game to suit the American culture. Things like the hydration breaks, the halftime show, and the shows before the game. Some of the refereeing has been a bit dubious, to say the least, but on the whole, well, that's been okay. And the thing that got me most of all was where there was America's player Balogun had a red card, and then Trump called up Infantino, and then literally a few hours later, it came out that they had suspended the red card for 12 months, and it just stinks of manipulation, bribery, just it stinks of that, really. And that is just not good for football. One thing that I didn't realize before was that we figured it on like a previous pod that they have Article 27. That means that they can override any rule that basically they've already written in the rule book, which basically just to me, like even that rule just like makes a farce of every other rule, because you kind of rule then, like if you can overrule a rule, then I was like, what's the point in like having a rule book in the first place? So that really made me angry.
Funny enough, I don't think it's been said enough that the rule book says that an half time should be no more than 15 minutes, and they overrode their own rule to make it 27 minutes for the half time show. Like, what is the point of having rules if you can just say, right, I don't like that? That is actually, that FIFA do that is quite fitting that it was in America, of Trump's America. That's something he would probably do. I think the only other thing I'd say negative is, actually, I never thought about it this way until you just said it, was the travelling for some teams, especially England. Travelling so far away from the training base, because obviously America's a massive country, as we all know. It kind of disrupts preparations. And I think I heard because I watched it on our TV yesterday, because I just found their commentary a lot better. And they said that Argentina only had, I think, half a day to prepare for that final because of media obligations, travelling, all this. And obviously they had thunderstorms the night before. So they only had half a day to prepare for that Spain match, whether Spain had an extra day to prepare. And that's all because of media obligations. it's not ideal. We won't talk onto these, but some of FIFA's biggest talking points I've made a note of was the referee body cams. I was a massive fan of that. I think that's been really good to see the referee's point of view. I want more of that. More of that, please. Semi-automated offside has made offsides a lot quicker. I mean, I've been in the pub watching some games, and it's like, did they check that? Why haven't VAR checked that? But they had, because it was semi-automated. And I do actually prefer whatever technology they're using for these games, because the one in the Premier League is still so slow considering we're using it. But it probably is a different system because there's, so many of them out there. Hydration breaks, which you just touched on, Tom, that's one of the biggest talking points. Longer added time, we've gone back to the kind of the way, obviously, the Premier League introduced this of increasing added time for stoppages of play. UEFA didn't do that, so you'll find if your team is in the Champions League, when there's added time, you only get 3-4 minutes like they used to be in the medieval days 5 years ago. Whereas the Premier League over the past 2 seasons have introduced this where the Bulldogs to play, they stop, and that's why we have 11 minutes added time each game. FIFA brought that into the World Cup. And the main talking point at the end was a Super Bowl style halftime entertainment. Some worked brilliantly, others definitely did not. We were going to keep this short. I got a bit overexcited when I wrote this episode, actually. I was looking forward to this one. Before we finish, Tom, this will make good showing this one, so we've got to do it. Before we go, let's do a between us, so there's no preparation. A team of the tournament excluding the finalists. So it was made up of 48 teams, and only 2 teams can make it to the final. So some draws are better than others. Let's build a team very quickly between us both, and let's be a lot of thinking about this. Of the players and my choice for this is Bosina for Cape Verde.
Sorry, mate. The whole thing went sort of like you froze for like about 10 seconds, so I didn't hear the actual rules behind the game. Sorry.
So the rules of this team of the tournament is basically we're going to do a quick fire round between us both, no preparation, of a team of the tournament of individual players who didn't make it to the final. So basically excluding Spain and Argentina. And it's just a little bit of fun, really, and obviously the viewers out there can also give their opinions as well. I'm going to go first if we probably agree on a 4-3-3 formation because it makes it simpler for everyone then. My pick for the first one will be Vecina, if that's how you say his name, for Cape Verde, the goalkeeper. 40 plus years old, he became one of the faces of the World Cup. Leadership, some fantastic saves, unbelievable just camaraderie. I think it's been one of football's feel-good moments for me, and I think he deserves to go in that goalkeeping position. Do you agree?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. Do you want to go with the right back? Any right back across the tournament? Don't need a lot of thinking about this, by the way. Some right back that probably, if they played in France or Spain or England, they would have been the difference. I think the one
Hakimi, maybe.
Again, I was going to say, I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
I think for me, if he played for France,
he would definitely make like an ultimate team. Yeah.
It reminds me of what probably England are missing in that kind of Kyle Walker position that we've never.
Definitely. Well, Trent.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Trent's the same as him, but like it's just a bit of different. Like there isn't much between them, I don't think. A huge amount.
No. Centre back pairing. Any?
Well, I was going to say Saliba.
I agree.
1, because he's great, but 2, because I feel so sorry for him that he went out of the tournament because of the back injury, because he actually had that back injury before he started playing for France, and he chose to play through the pain, and then it just becomes so, and then apparently it just became sort of so unbearable. They gave him like back injections, like pain relief injections for like him to play, but then it became too much, and so he had to go. So that's no reason why, because he's such a legend.
Yeah. No, I think Saliba is. I think he had a good tournament, and I think when you think about it with his injury, if he was at full strength, I think France were playing well for the tournament. They showed two sides of the game. It was just up until Spain not failed. Well, they did fail, but they kind of just crumbled from there. And I think if a fully fit Saliba would have probably organised that defence a little bit better.
Yeah.
For the other defender, I'm going to go Guardiola for Croatia, who plays for Man City. I think he's been consistently excellent, and I think again he's in not a great Croatia team. If he played in a big, one of the finalist teams in the semi-finals, I think he would have been, he would have been one of the players of the tournament for me.
Left back. I really want to say Jed Spence, because he was a player that I had not seen a lot of him, like because like he played for Tottenham, and obviously I support Arsenal, so like I don't really like Tottenham, so like I don't really watch a lot of their games. And he was somebody who I hadn't even watched a lot of him play, but he surprised me, and I think he surprised a lot of the nation in terms of his pace. I mean, there was one game where like he didn't do well at all, wasn't there?
I think that was against Ghana.
But then, apart from that, he rose above that and played amazingly well, I thought. And for someone so young, and for his first tournament to help us get to like that bronze medal is pretty good. So I'd say,
I was going to try and convince you.
I'm happy for who else, to see who else that you might think of.
Like I say, I was going to try and convince you and go in Alphonso Davies, because I think another one of those players who he's better than the team. Let's just put it that way. A bit like Haaland and Odegaard, he's better than the team. But I actually agree with the Jed Spence one, because he got better and better and better. And against Argentina, he was just, you didn't want to play him against them. Against Mexico, he just come alive, didn't he? And then coming into the Argentina game, there was a lot of passion there. So yeah, I'm going to go with.
As I say, like I think the other thing is that he's one of our ones that is there for the future as well. So like he's quite young still, and for him to have adapted and learned throughout the tournament alone means that I'm sure that in the next Euros, in the next World Cup, in the years after that, he will only improve. So like his ceiling is very high for like where he could actually get to. So that's great.
Going on to the midfield three, I think we both agree two of those midfielders need to be Declan Rice and Bellingham. I mean, England's engine in Rice, quality and consistency. Yes, he was very exhausted come the end of the tournament, but he still showed up. And Bellingham, I mean, I don't care what anyone says. When they say he's one for the future, he's one for the now. At 23 years old, he's running that team. And once Kane retires, I think, does he have to retire? I think he needs to be, I think the team needs to be built around him. I think they need to be built around him as that kind of supporting strike partnership, because there is no one really to replace Kane. And he walks into any team, no explanation needed. Rice and Bellingham is a definite. The last midfield one, if you've got any ideas, I'd like to probably put forward Manu Kone for France.
Oh yeah, he was
I
quite
didn't
good.
really, I
Yeah.
didn't really know a lot about him until this tournament, and I feel
Mhm.
like I've missed out quite a lot of him. I don't know. What do you think?
I did see a few games, and he was quite instrumental in their midfield, and also had quite a few nice shots on target as well. Um,
He's very athletic as well, isn't he?
yeah, so I did watch a few of his games actually, and he did impress me. Uh, I was going to
Valverde's another
say
shot.
basically either either him um, or Elliot Anderson actually. But then that's a bit tricky because there's like
Yeah,
three English in midfield, but like I genuinely think that Anderson was amazing for us there as well. So
yeah,
like the
he
amount
definitely,
of tackles and to win those tackles, the amount of tackles that he won was just amazing.
yeah, he's definitely matured into that. He like I said to you, one of the games he looked like a Manchester City player
Yeah.
before he even joined them. So okay, let's go Anderson then. Let's go Anderson. Let's go for three England midfield. Not biased at all. At all. Attack. This one is hard for me because without stating the obvious, has there been a lot of goals other than Messi have come from the midfield for the teams? Have you got anyone that stands out before I give you my very very obvious picks?
So for a front three, yeah.
Yeah, they don't have to be two wingers and a striker. It can be three strikers if you need be. I'm not that precious.
Um, well, for me, striker would have to be Kylian Mbappe because I
Of
just think
course,
he's my favorite striker currently.
Golden Boot winner.
I think so. He would be in striker, and then
Scored the most goals, hasn't he? 10 goals this World Cup.
yeah, he has,
Yeah.
and he also is the player who's ranked number one of all time goals scored in the World Cup, and he's 27.
He's still got another two in him.
So he's still
No,
got another two or three maybe. So I think, yeah, he might be one who actually changes records and isn't beating for a long, long time. The only other striker that I think can potentially beat him is Haaland.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean,
Because he's going to be chasing that, isn't he? Haaland in like the next few sort of World Cups that he'll be in as well.
without going for the obvious one, the third one, but when I say obvious, Kane, because obviously he scored. He was one of the strikers who scored the most goals as well. I want to put forward Vinicius Junior because I think Brazil had a poor tournament, but Vinicius didn't. For me, anyway, I thought
Yeah.
he tried. I think he tried, and I'm not a fan of him. I'll be honest with you. I don't care what anyone says. I just don't like him. I think he is quite vindictive when he plays. He could be an Argentina player. He's that kind of player.
Yeah.
But I thought he had a good tournament. And some of Dembele as well and Kane. It's hard. I don't know. What who do you think? Who do you think's worthy of that final spot?
So we said Mbappe, and then who else was the other one that you said?
Vinicius, Dembele, and Kane. That's my choices for that last one.
Yeah, but there's two other. So like, there's Mbappe who like we put a
Yeah,
striker,
yeah. I
and
totally
then
agree.
there's left
Mbappe,
wing and right wing. So there's two
Haaland, and
to choose
Mbappe.
from. Sorry, Haaland and Mbappe, and there's one left. Okay, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is very tough to fill that last place, isn't it? Yeah.
Let's go Vinicius Junior because I give you Anderson over
Let's
Kone.
go for that. Yeah.
Although I did like Kone, and I'd like to see him in the Premier League one day. I thought he reminded me of Conte.
Mm,
He was a bit of a workhorse. Anyway,
yeah.
that is it's a bit emotional. I feel like we've done 6 weeks of something we probably didn't anticipate to be so such a thing. We just thought it was going to be a podcast, but it's turned into a thing, and it's grown into a thing, and people have enjoyed this kind of mini series that we've done without it being a mini series. Anything else you want to bring up, Tom, that you've felt I haven't brought up, or you wanted to say?
Well, I've really enjoyed this, like you, watching the games, talking about the games, doing the TikToks, seeing people engage in our channel has been fantastic. And I just want to say that if you click on the subscribe button on here or here, and comment, and we love to see the comments. We are interested in what you say as well. We will definitely be back for the Premier League, if not before, and do a few sort of pods in between now and then, I'm sure, although we haven't sort of discussed that yet, have we, Craig? But it's been a fantastic World Cup. Great to sort of speak to you, Craig, and to everyone else out there who is listening. Thank you all for listening and engaging. It's fantastic stuff. Until next time, I'm Tom from the North to South podcast.
Well said, Tom, and I couldn't say it's any better. And to be fair, until I just this second said it, I'm like you. It's like until it's actually it, yeah, we've actually stayed consistent at this, and it's we hope people enjoy it. So, just like what Tom said, just like that, the World Cup 2026 is over. It's been an incredible 6 weeks football. I've loved every moment covering it with Tom, and from the opening match against Mexico, which I remember sitting here doing the podcast and watching it on the TV, up into Spain lifting the trophy yesterday, where my eyes just could not take anymore. It's been incredible. England once again come close. Spain are deserved winners and champions, and there'll be plenty of moments from this tournament that we'll be still talking about from years to come, I'm sure. A huge thank you to everyone who's followed our World Cup episodes, sent in questions, and like Tom said, even commented. We do not get offended. If you do not like something, or you do not like the way we just tell us. Honestly, that's what you put yourself out there. You've got to get the opinions, and that's what we want. So we generally appreciate all the support. But don't worry, Tom took the words out of my mouth. We're not disappearing. We'll go back to club football. We'll be covering the biggest transfer stories, pre-season friendlies, if they're worthy, predictions before the season starts, and yeah, just let's build towards the first full domestic season of the North to South podcast. So until then, enjoy this episode. Enjoy the highlights of football if you need to. Enjoy your summit, and we will be back very soon. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I've been Craig. Tom's been Tom. This is North South Podcast. Thank you very much.